Welcome to LVT-SHOWBIZ, the place to get the fastest, highest quality, most interesting updates and new perspectives on Chinese entertainment. Thanks for watching LVT-SHOWBIZ. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to stay tuned for more exciting stories from the world of Chinese celebrities. Leave your thoughts in the comments, we'd love to hear from you.
Have you ever witnessed a moment so quiet, so unexpectedly tender, that it didn't need music, didn't need headlines, yet somehow echoed louder than any grand confession? A moment where a single sentence, spoken softly, carried more weight than 1,000 dramatic declarations. That was exactly what unfolded when Zhu Kai stood beneath the soft glow of the lights, his expression calm, yet his eyes revealing something deeper, something unguarded. And then, almost as if the world had narrowed down to just one person, he looked at Tan Songyun and described her in a way no one could have anticipated. Not with exaggerated praise, not with carefully rehearsed words, but with something disarmingly simple. He called her his sunlight. In that instant, time seemed to hesitate. Conversations faded, cameras lowered, and even those who had seen countless celebrity moments felt something different. Because this wasn't about performance. It felt real. And perhaps that is why, long after the event ended, people are still talking about it, still replaying that moment, still wondering what truly lay behind those few, gentle words. The evening itself began like many others in the world of entertainment. A familiar setting filled with bright lights, polished smiles, and carefully curated appearances. Zhu Kai arrived first, composed and effortlessly elegant, dressed in a classic dark suit that reflected both confidence and restraint. He greeted everyone with his usual warmth, yet there was a subtle difference in his demeanour, something almost introspective, as though his attention was quietly fixed on something beyond the surface of the event. Why, not long after, Tan Songyun appeared, radiating a soft, natural grace that seemed to contrast beautifully with the formality of the surroundings. Her presence was never overwhelming, yet always noticeable, like a gentle light that draws you in without trying. When their eyes met, it was not dramatic, not exaggerated, but undeniably meaningful. It was the kind of glance that lasts only a second, yet lingers far longer in memory. As the interview progressed, the atmosphere remained light and playful. Questions about projects, future plans, and behind-the-scenes experiences filled the conversation. Both of them responded with professionalism, occasionally sharing small laughs that hinted at a comfortable familiarity. It was clear they shared a history, one built not only on collaboration, but on mutual understanding. Then came the question that would quietly change everything. If you had to describe Tan Songyun in one word, what would it be? It sounded simple, almost routine. The kind of question celebrities answer countless times. But this time, Zhu Kai did not respond immediately. He paused, not out of hesitation, but as if he was choosing something that truly mattered. He looked at her, not briefly, but with intention, as though acknowledging something only the two of them fully understood. And then he said it. Sunlight. There was no dramatic build-up, no attempt to impress, just that one word, delivered with a softness that made it feel deeply personal. He continued, explaining gently that she brought warmth, that she had a way of brightening everything around her, even in moments when he felt tired or uncertain. His voice remained calm, but yet there was a subtle tremor that suggested sincerity rather than performance. In that moment, the room changed. It wasn't loud or chaotic. In fact, it became quieter. People listened more closely. Even those who had been casually observing now found themselves fully present. Tan Songyun, known for her cheerful and composed personality, seemed momentarily at a loss for words. Her smile remained, but her eyes told a different story. one filled with emotion that didn't need to be spoken aloud. What made this moment so powerful was not just the words themselves, but everything surrounding them. The pause before he spoke, the way he looked at her, the absence of exaggeration. It felt unfiltered, almost as if the usual boundaries of public image had briefly dissolved. Within minutes, clips of that exchange began circulating online. Viewers replayed the moment repeatedly, analysing every detail, every expression, every subtle shift in tone. Social platforms quickly filled with interpretations, reactions, and heartfelt comments. Some described it as a quiet confession. Others saw it as a reflection of a deep and enduring friendship. But regardless of interpretation, one thing was clear. The moment resonated. Fans who had followed their journey from earlier collaborations recalled similar instances. Small gestures that might have gone unnoticed at the time. The way he would wait nearby after filming. The way she would naturally gravitate towards him during group interactions. None of these moments were dramatic on their own, yet together they formed a pattern that now seemed more meaningful. What truly set this apart from typical narratives was its restraint. There was no attempt to define the relationship, no labels were used, and perhaps that is precisely why it felt so genuine. In a world where stories are often shaped for maximum impact, this moment stood out because it did not try too hard. It simply existed. Later that evening, Tan Songyun shared a post. It wasn't elaborate. No lengthy caption, no direct reference. Just an image of a sunset, accompanied by a subtle symbol that many interpreted as a quiet response. It was understated, yet powerful in its own way. Enough to spark conversation, but not enough to confirm anything definitively. And that ambiguity became part of the story's charm. People began to reflect on what it means to care for someone without needing to define it, to express something sincere without turning it into spectacle. It reminded many that not all meaningful connections require explanation. Shu Kai, when asked about the comment again in a later setting, responded with the same gentle composure. He smiled, slightly shy, and explained that sometimes words simply reflect what you genuinely feel in the moment. There was no attempt to amplify the situation, no effort to turn it into something larger than it was. And that authenticity only deepened the impact. Since then, every time they appear in the same space, even briefly, attention naturally shifts. Not because of any confirmed narrative, but because of the memory of that moment. That single word, that quiet exchange, it created a sense of anticipation, a subtle curiosity that continues to draw people in. What we are witnessing here is not just a story about two individuals. It is a reminder of how powerful sincerity can be, how a simple, heartfelt expression can resonate far beyond its original context. It speaks to something universal, the desire to be seen, understood, and appreciated in a way that feels genuine. In many ways, this moment has become more than just a memory. It has evolved into a symbol, not of certainty but of possibility, not of declarations but of emotions that exist quietly yet profoundly. And perhaps that is why it continues to stay with us, because it doesn't demand belief. It simply invites feeling. So what do you think? Was that gentle description merely a fleeting moment shaped by nostalgia? Or was it something deeper, something that words can only partially capture? Sometimes, the most meaningful stories are not the ones that are fully explained, but the ones that leave space for us to wonder. If this story touched you, even in the smallest way, don't forget to stay with us here at LVT-SHOWBIZ. Your support helps us continue sharing these quiet yet powerful moments that often go unnoticed. Subscribe to the channel, share your thoughts in the comments, and let us know what you feel. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next story where emotion speaks louder than words.